Greetings from Citizen Health and the Team Academy IAP SME Connect, and in the series of People's Health It Matters. Today we have Dr. Sachin V. Desai, who is Associate Professor in Department of Community and Family Medicine, SN Medical College, Karnataka. A warm welcome to you, sir, on behalf of all the audience.
Namaste, Namaste, Mrs. Ritu, and I'm really thank you.
थैंक्स टू यू सर कि आज हम बात करने जा रहे हैं एक ऐसे टॉपिक के बारे में विच इज़ less known, less talked about. So we are going to talk on a topic that is geriatrics, and I would like to start the session with my first question: that what is geriatrics, sir, and what it's important?
Geriatrics is a branch of medicine which is related to the senior citizens, age 60 and above. So it's important because there are many physiological changes that occur in the senior citizen, which is slightly different from an adult, from a normal adult. So hence, addressing these issues becomes an important topic, and it's an emerging branch which is still in infancy, which needs to develop completely. So the first step is to generate awareness, which we will be doing through sessions like these to many senior citizens, caregivers, and to the medical fraternity.
Right, sir, right. And how do you classify the seniors based on age group? Like any demographic transition, age pyramids?
Yeah. So at the moment, the seniors, as per the WHO, are classified into young old, very old, and centenarians. Young old are between 60 to 74. Old are between 75 to 89. 90 to 99 are very old, and centenarians are 100 years and above. So demographic transition is one aspect wherein there is a age pyramid. Okay, at different age groups, you just imagine a pyramid. At the bottom of the pyramid, we'll have between 0 to 1 year, from a newborn to 5 years of age, then slowly into adolescents, adults, and senior citizens. So when we take a pyramid, it's in the form of a broad base and a narrow tip. So as it goes above, it will be narrow. But what has happened currently is the tip, which represents the 60 and above or the 80 and above, it is slightly increasing. So the tip is getting broadened, which is what we are going to explain here. Currently, in 2011, there was 8.2 percentage. That is, out of 100, there were 8.2 average of eight individuals who were senior citizens, and it is increasing and projected to increase up to 16%. So nearly double by 2040. So in just 16 years from now, we will double. So we can imagine how big would be the load of seniors on the health facility, on the infrastructure, and how people would have to be addressed in the so basically, addressing this age group and addressing this demographic transition is the need of the hour, and hence also through two aspects. One, generating awareness to the people, to the caregivers, and making it project to the government that so many, the large number of seniors and what are the common health problems and how we can address this through the on-field activities is important. So hence, generating awareness is the first step in geriatric care.
Okay, and sir, if we talk about life expectancy, so what is it? And do you really think that men live more than a woman? And if it is true, then why it happens?
Ma'am, life expectancy is one where an individual live the maximum that an individual can live. So now with advancement in technology, better medicines, better lifestyle, and access to all healthcare services is made possible for all age groups to live longer. But currently, the eastern parts of the world, that is Japan and some Southeast Asian countries, live longer compared to the Western counterparts. In India itself, women live longer than men. The reason is that they have a strong endurance capacity and they go through different phases of life which related to so the childbirth, then related to the different work roles that they play. So their mindset is to adapt, and they are much better compared to the men, where There's slight differences, but the endurance capacity is much more in women compared to men. Maybe that's one of the few reasons why women live longer than men. The genetic makeup also makes it more evident for the women to live longer than men.
So it means the men should also be and should incorporate adaptive nature in himself, right? To live longer. Okay, and so please tell us about the some more serious situations for senior citizens or some critical situations for senior citizens.
Senior citizens have these common morbidities, which include the geriatric giants. So, among these geriatric giants there is dementia. Commonest is Alzheimer's. Then there's depression. There's falls and fractures, which are very common in senior citizens. Then the fourth geriatric giant is caregiver burden. So, because of having a senior citizen who is having all of these diseases, uh, caring for them is a predominant role. And burden among these caregivers is the fourth geriatric giant which we will have to address. Fifth one is incontinence, where the person will not be able to have control of his bowel and bladder, which is also need to be addressed, which is common in a senior citizen. So hence, addressing these geriatric giants is the important aspect, and there are also other morbidities because the aging phenomena, where vision, hearing, and early forgetfulness are common. Those related to chronic diseases like cancers, non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, obesity, heart problems are also common. And the third one is because of a drug cascade. You take multiple drugs. For example, they are on many medicines, 4 or 5 or 6 medicines. One medicine will have two combinations which are repeated. And because of this double intake or because of dementia, they may forget and take the drug twice, which will lead to a drug cascade, which we need to address. So this is the fifth geriatric giant, which we also need to address along with the other drug reactions, and so hence addressing these issues is important. And screening for these diseases is a preliminary requirement in this age group. So hence early screening, early detection, and early treatment is a important mode.
So, as a caregiver, what should we know?
So it's important for us to first take up the responsibility as a not as a mandatory thing, but taking it up uh, as a maybe it's a social aspect, or ethically you're doing it right for your, or rather giving them back what you have received from your parents or your in-laws. So that's the motive with which we should uh, take it first. So related to the burden, obviously when we are caring for a senior citizen who is not in his second childhood, it's like a second childhood where we'll be caring for a senior. So definitely they are bound to have like irritability and anger and all these things just like a child. So hence in the age group, addressing these issues is very important. Keeping a cool mindset and addressing these morbidities is important. So how do we address? Depends on sharing the caregiving. For example, if only one person is caring, we have to share the responsibility of caregiving. Then later, there are newer initiatives where we adopt a grandpa. This is commonly which is there in for a school or a college children, college students, where they can adopt a grandpa and volunteer to caregive. So if there is burden on one caregiver, they can share the responsibilities of caregiving. So hence, like this, there are multiple modalities where caregiver burden can be reduced, and also making them relaxed and listening to music or taking breaks due to continuous caregiving, especially in dementia care. So these are a few initiatives which we need to address in caregiving, which
Very
aware, which
true. Very
awareness is very important. Yes.
right, sir. Right. Any preventive measures for seniors or caregivers?
Yeah. So most importantly, when they know they are having some changes physiologically or pathologically, they will understand that the body is responding in a different manner. So first thing is they'll have to communicate to their relatives or to the family physician whom they'll have to, whether what changes they are documenting related to if they are having low sugar or high sugar. then they will have a different physiological phenomenon. Low sugar, they will have sweating, then giddiness. So like this, documenting them, telling it to their relatives, or rather going to the, or just giving a phone call to the family physician can save complications. This is very important. The first thing. Now, when you know that there are multiple drugs or medicines that they are taking, and we don't check whether there is the same combination of drug which is given twice. When such a situation occurs, what do? Is we will think that okay, it's okay to have this tablet. They will get better quickly. But if this situation is addressed, the drug cascade, the adverse drug reactions that occur can be prevented. So checking the drugs, screening themselves early, regularly for vision, for hearing, for doing a normal ECG after 60 and above, checking cholesterol levels, blood cholesterol levels, and then so retinopathy where you do a fundus examination, hearing aids, you just check every detail of you which normally would decline with aging. So there are few aspects which we need to address. Screening on on large basis is important, and addressing these issues is important related to senior citizens, which is either physiological, pathological, or because of the long-term illnesses. So picking them up early and screening them is the key in a senior citizen.
And we are celebrating International Older Person. When is it, sir?
Yes, ma'am. On October 1.
On October 1. Okay, sir. Can you have told us about 5 geriatric giants? Can you please elaborate that for us?
Yeah, ma'am. So dementia is one aspect where the seniors will forget. They'll have difficulty to perform their daily routine. Then they'll have a key in their hand and they'll not know what they used it before. So when such instances are happening repeatedly, and when they are not able to, it is hampering their daily routine. Only then we will have to consult a physician to get further evaluated, whether it's because of a vascular dementia or a Lewy body dementia. So there's some terms, or whether it's an Alzheimer's disease, which is the commonest type in 80% of the senior citizens. It's the dementia is predominantly of Alzheimer's type. So there are others as well related to Lewy body and all, but the percentage is slightly on the lesser side. So screening them is important. The second one is depression, where a senior citizen will have multiple episodes of low mood, and because of staying all by themselves in this nuclear family, because the families have migrated from rural area to an urban area, and they are living in a nuclear family with limited interaction with the social surrounding or caregivers. So there's 3 or 4 individuals, hence they are more prone for depression. Then the third giant is falls and fractures, which is related to either multiple drug intake or like taking a citizen at night time, and when they wake up, they'll have giddiness and then they will have a fall, and that will lead to fractures. Caregiver burden, I just mentioned, where we share the responsibility of caregiving. And the fifth one is incontinence. So incontinence is because of the use of multiple drugs, or rather because of the aging phenomenon. Definitely, these are the 5 giants which we have to address early.
Okay, so sir, are there newer management for these diseases? Which
Yes, ma'am. There are newer management which includes use of gene technology, where we use technology to assist the daily activities of a senior citizen. We have sensors in the watch, we have sensors in the apps, mobile apps, which will prevent a person living with dementia from wandering away. So you know that he will not know where he is going, so he'll just be lost. To prevent that, we can have a bracelet which has a tracker device. We also have sensors at the chair when he is getting up. So if he is having a fracture and he has to use the washroom, As a routine, he'll just try to get up. Because when he's doing that, to prevent the fall, we'll have sensors. So when he is in the air or when he is trying to get up, the sensors on the chair would indicate that he may have a fall. Another important aspect is a pill reminder Jiren technology, wherein there's a drug boxes. Okay, we have boxes which are timed, which open only at a particular time of the day, and they have vocal reminders. So by just creating an awareness, telling that they will have to have a medicine at this particular time of the day, we can avoid polypharmacy, that is multiple drug intake, either because of forgetfulness or because of uh, uh, taking it voluntarily. Okay, like he wants to get early quickly, so he may take 2 tablets. So that will not open if he has taken it already. So these are newer technologies which we can use for senior citizens. Apart from technology, technology has many drawbacks as well. Just like when we are in recording now, we have internet connectivity which will just be lost and we are nowhere. So hence, the most commonest and the most is human touch. When we have children and when we have grandparents, there's an intergenerational engagement. Just by interacting, when a grandparent just interacts with a younger child, you have bonding, you have emotional well-being that is created in this senior citizen. Plus, the child will have experience which is valuable, where money cannot buy it. The senior, whatever he has earned in his youth, in his adulthood, he will share it with his juniors, which this interaction and bonding can help in mutual benefits. The child may have better academic performance, the senior may have cognitive stimulation, which can prevent dementia. So interactions like these, even in the modern day where we can sit in this place and have a tea cup coming to us, still human touch will have an upper hand. So this is what I wish to share in the newer advances, made with technology or made by intergenerational bonding, which is even stronger than the newer technology.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It was really very nice talking to you and a very informative session that you are so true that we are giving back to them. We are not
Yes.
taking anything from them. We are giving back to them. So true. And I wish that this video will reaches to every person and we will take care of our grandparents, parents, everyone. Thank you so much for interaction with us. And is there any last message you want to convey to our audience?
Yeah. So I just want to share one. So care, like the way you care to your relatives. This is for the physicians, for the caregivers. Do not get uh, tired, or it's just that we are trying to give them a better childhood, the seniors a better childhood, and for a younger generation, it's like we'll have to either volunteer to care give, and for the seniors, they can interact well with their children, grandchildren, and listen to music or just stay calm so that whatever they have earned, whatever they have had in their life, the tough experiences that they have had, they need to just relax and stay calm. I want to thank all the academia members of the IAPSM and the senior faculty of IAPSM for giving me this opportunity. And if there's an opportunity, I would still want to have many more interactive sessions related to elderly care. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so much,
Preeti
sir.
ma'am, for this interactive session.